How is everyone doing today? I'm your host, Joe Fernandez, a part of the marketing team over here at Tech 30. Thank you all so much for tuning into this webinar. We are fortunate enough to have Eduardo Sorto, our application engineer from Tech 30, as he will be presenting this webinar's topic of Creo Design Exploration Extension. We also have Jaron Clark, a sales consultant for Tech 30. And now I'm going to be passing it over to Jaron, and he will give you a little background information of who Tech 30 is and what we offer.
Thank you so much, Joe, and thank you again, everyone, for joining us this beautiful afternoon. As mentioned, my name is Jaron Clark, and in short, as it references Tech 30, we're an engineering company that helps engineering companies do engineering. We do this with tools and through helping our customers make the most of those tools through training and engineering services. We would love to get to know you a bit more and get an in-depth understanding of your business, because we love it when we're actually in a position to expand our customers' business and build a community by connecting customers who may benefit from networking with one another. Moving into the next slide, I just want to give you a brief overview of everything as it relates to Tech 30 and give you a bit of a background as to how we really came to fruition. So we offer a broad range of mechanical engineering capability to our customers, which include design, analysis, manufacturing, as well as PLM consulting. We were established back in 2002. We have about 90 plus employees now, 50 of which are engineers in a technical group. We're located in Mission Vallejo, California. If ever you're around, please feel free to give us a jingle, and we'd love to give you a tour of our so many facets of our headquarters there. We are registered as a small to medium-sized business enterprise with the Small Business Administration, as well as our focus being very specific to a few particular areas of business units, which include PTC software, additive manufacturing, engineering services, as well as Siemens software. Moving into the next slide, there are a few things that we focus on here at Tech 30. PTC softwares, which include Creo, Windchill, MathCAD, ThingWorks, as well as Vuforia. If you have any interest in any of those, feel free to reach out to me personally. In addition to that, we offer 3D printing services from manufacturers such as Markforged, HP, Big Rep, Union Tech, as well as Additive Industries. Moving into the next slide, referencing a bit more about that 3D printing capability. I won't spend too much time on this slide. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you'd love to dig a little deeper as it relates to what we do in the 3D printing world, I invite you again to reach out to me offline. Moving into the next slide, let's kind of dig into why we're here today. So before I get to talking about how we can integrate IoT into Creo and our CAD platform, let me challenge you with this question. What are your barriers to innovation? As a company, department, or an individual, you have goals and you have targets to achieve them when it comes to your physical and digital product that you design and that you manufacture. While these goals may differ from group to group or from person to person, almost everybody is striving to be more efficient, go faster, and improve something in their physical or digital process to gain a more competitive edge. So let's stop for a moment and think about what those goals might be. What are your goals? But more pressing, what are the barriers to achieving them? Some of you might instantly know a few areas that are challenging your design innovation process, and that's great. Some of you might need more time to think about it, and that's okay too. As you give this some thought, let me take you through some of the top industry challenges that might spur your thinking. Jumping into this next slide, let's build upon these 3 points that Aberdeen Group brought up, and let's take a look at how Creo can help. So first, with Creo, we can help you accelerate your product innovation without the worry of complexity. Creo with Unite technology helps companies have a competitive advantage in product innovation. We do this in 3 unique areas. Second, we help companies have a greater reuse of your design data. We help you increase the number of innovation and faster time to market. Third, we are going to help you replace design assumptions with facts by improving this new product design and by creating a new smart connected product. We do this without ever having to compromise your process, period. Creo allows you to be ready for this new world of smart connected products. Creo is the only CAD with IoT and AR at its core, so you never have to compromise to design smarter with Creo. In this webinar, we're going to go over a few things and some remarkable capabilities, and we can't wait to show you how it can prospectively help you as we explore more design iterations. So without further ado, let me introduce Eduardo Sorto.
Thanks, Jaron, and thanks again, everyone, for joining us today. My name is Eduardo Sorto. I'm an application engineer here with Tech 30, and I specialize in the PTC suite that covers a variety of products from Creo, Windchill, Visual Studio, and MathCAD. And today specifically, I'm going to be covering the Design Exploration Extension within Creo. So here's a short agenda of what I'm going to cover today. So I'm going to introduce what the extension is, how you can use it, what's the need for it, what are the benefits, and how does it work, right? And I'll show that through a demonstration. So without further ado, the Design Exploration Extension is exactly what it sounds like. It enables you to try out new designs and explore different design alternatives, right? And this is crucial early in the design phase when you're not exactly sure what the end product will be, but you know what your requirements are. And from those requirements, there are a lot of different variables you can work with. So having an environment to test out those variables is crucial early on, right? And the reason we're having this conversation today is because of the Design Exploration Extension is now offered as part of the base subscription package. So if you've recently found yourself upgrading to a subscription license, you'll come to see that you have the Design Exploration Extension already embedded, and you can go ahead and learn here how you can use it. Or if you're considering moving to a subscription model, then this hopefully you can find some value within this demonstration. Okay, so why do we need, or why would we use the Design Exploration Extension? So, as engineers, we know that design is an evolutionary process, right? There's an end goal we want to get to with the requirements. So we need to test out how components are going to fit together. What are the interferences? What's the market asking for? So we need to test out not only the aesthetics of your product, but also the functionality, right? So here, this last point says that engineers don't have a blueprint to follow, right? So we kind of need to have test out these different design paths, right? So being able to use an environment that enables you to do this is crucial for your end result. Okay. So here, now moving on to the next slide, we got different design iterating options, right? So how is it usually done? How do you usually come up with different design iterations in your process? Well, typically what I see is people doing a save as of their previous model or a similar model, right? And they go ahead and make different design iterations of those models. See, as we go ahead and do a save as, we change the features here, we now have a large set of data with all these large assemblies that we now have to manage, right? So yeah, usually I see people do save as, copy, change the models, and then have a large set of data that they later refer to. So being able to address this issue of having all these multiple files and being able to address the issue of having to clear your session all the time and being able to manage all those different design iterations is crucial. So that's where the Design Exploration Extension comes in. Right, so you start with a generic base model, and this can be maybe the product that you sold last year, that you developed for last year's iteration. So what you have now is you want to be able to reuse this and leverage the hard work that you already put into this model, and being able to explore different design iterations. So as you can see on my right here, the Design Exploration Extension provides a window where you can create checkpoints of different designs. So here you can have, you can save different iterations of it without risking or damaging the original file, right? So here you can see that these checkpoints allows you to make different changes to this knife handle here, maybe add some different grooves, right? So now you can bring this to your design reviews as opposed to having to toggle back and forth between different windows, clearing your session, or maybe even taking screenshots. Now everything's embedded within Creo. You don't have to worry about that. Okay, and as you can see, the design process is an evolutionary process. So there's always going to be design changes. So you don't want to risk, having your model tree unable to regenerate with a change of a feature. So you want to be protected in a sense, and having the design exploration environment allows you to do so. So whenever you're ready, you can accept those changes, or you can even back up to previous design iterations. Okay, now let me go ahead and show you what this looks like within Creo. I'll go ahead and navigate, and for this demonstration, I'm using Creo Parametric 5.0. So, but pretty much you can find this environment anywhere. But the first thing I'll do is I'll work with an assembly of a guitar. And we don't know exactly how this guitar is going to look like, but we have a model of a previous version that we want to test out, or we want to build upon. Okay, so I'll just navigate to my folder here, and I'll just get the top level assembly. All right, and as you can see, I already have a, maybe the previous design of this guitar. Right, so what we want to do is, build upon this. So the first thing we want to do is enter into the design exploration session. So to do this, we'll manage our session. We'll click on design exploration session, and we can either start a brand new session or we can open a previous one. So for this example, let's go ahead and start a new one, and we'll say guitar for 2019. Right, and we can add a couple of descriptions here. And what this does is it opens a window embedded within your CAD environment. So you can toggle back and forth here, and you can check your checkpoints as you go along. Right, so the first thing you see is a pre-modified checkpoint. So this is basically what you see on the screen. So from here, you can go ahead and make your design changes without having to worry about ruining the original model. So let's say we want to go ahead and remove this extrude cut for this 2019 version. So what we can do is click on this, and because we're in the assembly mode, we'll want to activate this component here, and we'll go to the cutout. We can either modify this cutout. I'll just modify the session here and say maybe we don't want this. Maybe we want something a little bit more rounds, right? So we'll go ahead and delete all this good stuff, and I'm going to make this out. So I'll just grab this, and maybe something like this is fine for the first one. So make that an extrude. Okay. And lastly, I'll just mirror this along the center line. Okay. So as you can see, I'm already working within the same environment here. All I got to do is save this, and it'll be able to regenerate. Okay. Let me go back one. Looks like I'm missing a reference somewhere. Okay, so let me just go here and say something as easy as this. All right. And we're just doing this for the purpose of the, just to show what you can do. And we'll remove this middle piece here to be able to get that full area. And I apologize. Let me go back a couple of them. And let me just modify this. Something like this. Doesn't have to be too fancy. We'll project this onto the other sides. Right, and let's go ahead and create a mirror. And let's mirror this across. Well, that's strange. Looks like there it is. That's the one. Alrighty. Last point here. Okay. Well, that took a while, but as you can see, we have a different design already. And from here, we can create a checkpoint from the neck of the guitar and call this maybe neck curve, right? So now we went ahead and changed this, activate this the top model again, and say we want to go back to what it was before the neck. So we can right click here and just activate this, and we can toggle back and forth between those different design changes. Okay? Maybe we want to work from here and do something else, something different here. Maybe we want to remove this cutout and have a design where it just curves around here. So we'll just click on the guitar body. We'll move to our extrude, maybe remove this extrude cut here. Right. As you can see, we can go ahead and create another checkpoint from there, but let me just fix this bump here for the first extrude. And I can just bring this in a little bit closer and bring in this line a little bit closer. Right, so now we have a different design that we want to go ahead and explore. So we create another checkpoint and say maybe this is guitar body is now full. Okay, so now let's go ahead and toggle back and forth. Check our pre-modified, go to our full, and maybe we want to have another option where we use this this version, but now without the pick guard. So what we can do is just remove this here, and now save a checkpoint from that neck curve to that pick guard. So remove pick guard. We can go ahead and add a couple keywords, comments. So if we ever want to do a quick search or query, we can go ahead and have some easy to find words there. Let's say we have a design review session and we present all these different iterations. You can literally go into your design review and just toggle back and forth between those, take measurements. You have all the tools within Creo, but now you can, instead of being within PowerPoint showing screenshots, you can just toggle back and forth here, right? So say maybe the whole team likes this design, they like the full body, they want to keep the pick guard, and they want to check this, change that neck there. So once you're finished with your design process, or at least these initial iterations, the Design Exploration Extension allows you to accept those changes and enter those into your current session. So this here saves it to your guitar.assembly file. So we'll go ahead and save this. You can save it to your Windows environment, or you can save it to a different place. Here I have my working directory, so I'll go ahead and save it there. So now, as you can see, I'm done with the design exploration session. I still have my top level assembly, and it still has the same file name, but now those design changes are saved within this file. Right, so we don't have to manage all those different save as options for the pick guard being removed, for this change of body. It's all stored within one file. And the design exploration session is stored within its own file itself. So I'm going to open up the File Explorer here, and now navigate to where I saved that design exploration session. And the extension for that is .tmu. So if we ever want to go back and explore those different design iterations, we can just open up this exploration session and toggle back to our previous design or even build upon what we have here. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. The first thing we'll do is just clear our session here. And from there, we can go ahead and open a design exploration session. Okay, so let's go to our directory here. And we can go ahead and accept this. As you can see, we're back at this checkpoint tree, and we can at any time move back into our previous designs. So we don't risk damaging this pre-modified model of 2018. We can now just build upon that, and we don't have to worry about 1, 2, 3, 4 different file assemblies. It's all within one environment. Okay. There are a couple options here on the left too. You can delete your checkpoints, you can activate them to work within them, update them at any point if there are changes, change your keywords to search, and you can even do a report from this. So your report would have anything that's changed. You can go ahead and create, let's activate this guy, and we can take a look at what was changed from that report. All right, so this will toggle up. It'll tell you, what are the modifications to that, what are the checkpoints. You can view your changes from those. Right, so here it'll give you, a clear dialog box of what was removed, what was deleted. You can go ahead and change some of this too. So you can have this as part of your design review too. So if there's anything that's not apparent that was changed, you can use this tool to help you communicate those design changes. Okay. So now let's say we have to go back to our 2018 guitar model because of maybe we had some manufacturing restrictions that we didn't take into account. So let's go back to our pre-modified model, and let's go back and accept these changes. Okay. So now our guitar assembly, same file name, has the pre-modified designs, right? So we don't have to worry about where we're going to store it. It's all captivated within one file type, and if we ever want to go back and explore different designs, we would use the .tmu file extension here. Okay. So now let me toggle back to the PowerPoint here to kind of illustrate what are the main points, main takeaways from here. So, okay, so really the design exploration extension has 3 real impacts to your process. First, it allows you to explore different designs early in the design process, right? So there's no risk to damaging that original file, and you don't have to worry about file management. And it enables you to have a more fluent design review. You can toggle back and forth, accept, add some metadata to what your specific design iteration had, and some keywords, and then push out design reports for those review sessions. And then lastly here, you can safely explore the impact of those design changes. Right, so I mentioned that for this scenario, the 2019 changes we wanted to do did not align with our manufacturing capability or something within those lines. Now there's no risk to damaging those design changes. It's all managed within the exploration session. And below here are a couple statistics. PTC surveyed 7,000 manufacturing organizations, and as you can see, there's a lot of benefits to having an environment where you can explore different design paths. So 62 of organizations stated that concept designs typically evolve by partially or heavily leveraging existing designs. So that's exactly what the demonstration today, the dialogue was, reusing what you already have. Why spend too much time building up a foundation that's already there? So it definitely helps out being able to leverage that data. And 92% of organizations say that they will benefit immensely if they explore different design alternatives, right? And this makes sense. The more design paths that you explore early on, the more creative and more sophisticated your design will be at the end, right? Nowadays, you want to stand out from the rest of the products. You want to be able to test out different design changes early on. And 44% of designers say that they've experienced some anticipated changes throughout development. So this was referring back to that manufacturing issue that sometimes there are unexpected changes. So if we ever have to revert back to a previous design checkpoint per se, then this session or this extension here will safely enable you to go back if you have to. So there's definitely a lot you can do with this, and just being able to have an environment and not manage all those different save as copies will definitely help you out, stay more organized, and explore different options that you might have not explored before. So that's all I have for today. I hope you learn that this extension may provide some value, especially early in the design phase. And I'll just open up for questions.
Yeah, thank you, Eduardo. If you guys have a question, go ahead and leave it in the question box or the chat if you prefer that, and we'll get to them. Eduardo, we actually have a question from Alex McNabb, and Alex's question is, where is the design exploration session stored?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the design exploration session saves as its own file name or file type, right? And that's the .tmu that we saw. So let me just show this real quick. So this is the .tmu file, and as you can see, it has 388 kilobytes as opposed to the guitar assembly that has 66. So all your design, checkpoints are saved within this file. So you don't clutter your working environment or your working directory. You just have it all saved and stored within this .tmu file.
All right, thank you. We also have a question from Derek Mitchell, and so his question is, after you've accepted a checkpoint, are you able to revert to the original model?
Yeah, that's a great question. And yes, you are able to revert back. Once you accept your changes, you're not held committed to those changes. You can always go back. So you would open up your design exploration extension or your session, and it's all stored within that .tmu file. So you can go ahead to your pre-modified checkpoint, accept those changes, and there's no risk whatsoever.
All right, thank you. As of right now, it does not look like we have any questions. I'm gonna leave it open for a couple more minutes, and just to let everyone know, PTC is currently offering a huge deal through Tech 30, which is a buy two get one free discount applying to Creo design packages and PTC MathCAD. So if you're interested in this promotion or interested in renewing your license, please be sure to get in touch with Jaron Clark. And his email is jclark@tech30.com. That's jclark@tech-30.com. And you also see his contact in previous and follow-up emails. So don't hesitate to shoot over email if you're interested in this limited time deal. And we'll also be posting this video to YouTube later today. On our YouTube channel, we have previous MathCAD, Windchill, and Creo webinars. So feel free to pass those along to your friends and colleagues. And please also be sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on Twitter and LinkedIn to get information regarding upcoming webinars and live seminar events that we will be having. And if you could please stick around for just 10 to 15 seconds after the webcast ends, and please leave a comment letting us know what else you would want to see for future Creo webinars, and also answer our quick survey, that would be awesome. Once again, thank you so much for attending and have a great day.